Welcome to another edition of the DawgHouse. I'm your host, the one and the only Sav Dog. And you thought I was gonna shy away since I ended up on the losing side on last week to RyMart. Nope. I will still talk and I will still walk. Anywho. Well, obviously I missed a lot. Work's been kicking my butt since I've been back to it, thanks to school. But ironically, I have been enjoying it this year. Because, well, when you don't have somebody that resembles that of Kim Jong-un as your boss, you kind of feel pretty good. Thankfully, my new boss is just awesome. Anyway, let's talk a little bit. I see that there's a lot of drama on the board, kind of like a no holds barred. I really don't want to get into it too much because, well, I really have nothing to say about that just because I really haven't read it and I really am just too tired of formulating an opinion and really too tired to care. You don't like that? Tough. One thing I'm going to say is this, though, and I find it a little peculiar, and I think there's collusion going on, by the way, here, is that when the Sad Dog was winning this summer, the Cup of Joe stopped, except for Harber, who has done a decent job, even though I think Bedell has done a great job at that over the years. Harber has done a decent job. I didn't read his today. I really don't feel like reading it today. Truth be told, the reason why I lost to RyMart wasn't because I did anything fully wrong. Heck, I started Mike Montgomery Saturday night, and he got me 7 shutout innings. And I still lost. So that, and I also had a day yesterday where my offense almost hit 500 on Sunday, but I still lost. Wasn't the fact that I did poorly. RyMart did well. Can't say that, but I'm going to get to you in a minute, RyMart, because I have a little bit of a bone to pick with you anyway. Anywho, anyhow, back to this whole collusion thing. Kept on winning, 9-game winning streak. Don't see many cups of Joe. Don't see any video of thrills. What goes on? What, you just don't want... The 1 year the Sad Dog does well, you don't comment on it much? Y'all afraid of it? All scared of it? Huh? Anyway, collusion, I say. Collusion. Not gonna happen. Anyway, I'm going to turn my gears to a little bit on my opponent last week. RyMart, yes, you beat me, RyMart. Okay? Yeah, but let's face it, though. What's going to happen when the trade deadline's over and you don't get the Canadian Dingle as your little trade puppet? Huh? Let's face it, RyMart. Yeah, you made some shrewd deals with old Austin Sneed up there in Toronto. That doesn't mean anything, okay? Well, it does. That just means... You give him magic beans and he'll cough you up some way so his team can turn around. You can't do that now with the trade deadline over. So your prowess will be challenged the rest of the way. And by the way, RyMart, don't be saying, oh, I told you I was going to beat you midway through the week. You needed your offense to rake. You needed your pitching to be stout. All right? I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to make sure everybody in this league hears it. If I see you into the playoffs, not the consolation part of the playoffs, because, I'm in the playoffs. But if I see you in the playoffs, RyMart, I will beat you. No ifs, ands, or buts. I will beat you. All right? It will be fact. All right? So, RyMart, you're on notice. And trust me, you're on the top of my list now. Forget Bedell. Forget any Harber Dynasty player. Forget my opponent this week, D Harb. Forget anyone. Okay? Forget Thrills. Forget the Canadian Dingle. Forget Dumb Luck Dynasty. Forget Big Ant. Actually, Big Ant. You're becoming my boy. Anyways, by and large, you're at the top of my list now. You can run your mouth, flapping your gums. Okay, fine. See how you handle it now when you're the hunted. All right, so D Harb. This week, you and me, my man. You got me last time. In fact, until this past week, you're the one that really got me probably the hardest this year. So I have a bit of a payback for you this week. Offense is starting to roll. Correa has been a great pickup. Has been a great trade. Now, A. Harb's opinion of that trade was not flattering on my end, but you know what? I think the numbers have shown that Correa has done a little bit more than Soto since the trade. So I like to think advantage Savdog. And of course, because it's the year of the Savdog. Now, granted, getting Robles from the Angels, this one right here that Benny's wearing, hasn't really panned out as well, largely because he's not getting any saves. The Angels have cooled off a little bit. But I still like the trade I made. It's worked out pretty well, if you ask me. It's just right now, Scherzer's on the injured list, and Verlander, and right now my pitching's slipping a little bit, but I still have one of the best rotations pitching in our league. So even when I have an off week, it's still better than most of your great weeks, especially ones who's thrown 70 innings pitched and only 7 and has a 7 ERA. But poop happens. So this week, D-Harb, I'm coming after you, throwing every punch I can at you so I can get that buyback. It's going to be a fight. Anyway, league is what it is because it is the what? B, F, 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 3 Fs, L. We don't call it that for nothing, do we, gentlemen? Or gentlemen and Will? Or gentlemen, Will and RyMart? Or gentlemen and, well, are we really any of us gentlemen? Anyway, so I am exhausted tonight. And you people who work in our education system, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly how I feel. Notably Thrills, Chicago Principal, and Bedell. You know how it feels right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of the time off. And yep. See you next week, as there will be a special edition of the DawgHouse as I go up against one of our staples of the BFFFL in Thrills. Sad Dog out.